Religion has been a central element of human civilization since the dawn of recorded history. Its rituals, myths, and moral codes have shaped the development of societies, governed behaviors, and provided meaning to human existence. But where did religion originate? How did early humans develop systems of belief in gods, spirits, or sacred forces? These questions lie at the heart of religious studies, anthropology, psychology, and sociology. The origin of religion is a multifaceted subject involving numerous disciplines and theoretical perspectives. From evolutionary psychology to archaeological discoveries, scholars have attempted to explain why religion emerged and how it evolved. Theories range from religion being a byproduct of cognitive processes to it serving social cohesion or even functioning as a mechanism of control. One of the earliest indicators of religious behavior in human history can be found in archaeological sites dating back tens of thousands of years. Burial practices among early Homo sapiens and Neanderthals offer critical clues. The intentional burial of the dead, with grave goods, ornaments, or flowers, suggests a belief in an afterlife or a spiritual realm. Sites such as the Shanidar cave in Iraq, where Neanderthals appear to have buried their dead with flowers, challenge the view that complex religious behavior was exclusive to modern humans. Similarly, the Blombos cave in South Africa has yielded artifacts dating back to approximately 75,000 years ago, including engraved ochre and shell beads. These items are often interpreted as evidence of symbolic thinking, a necessary component of religious belief. Cave paintings from the Upper Paleolithic period depict animals, human figures, and mysterious symbols. These works may have served ritualistic or religious purposes, possibly linked to hunting, magic, or shamanistic practices. The depiction of hybrid creatures, part human, part animal, may suggest belief in supernatural beings. If we want to delve deeper into motives and causes of personification of nature that our ancestors were so fond of, we have to look at how animals perceive nature, because there was a time in our history when the line between humans and animals was not so clear, and anthropologists think that that period was crucial for creating mythology. The notion that animals might exhibit forms of spirituality begins with the observation that many species display complex behaviors in response to death, the environment, or social interactions. For example, elephants are known for their responses to death. They show signs of mourning when encountering the body of a deceased herd member. They may stand in silence, touch the body with their trunks, or even return to the site of a death days later. This deep emotional reaction could be interpreted as a form of reverence or understanding, but it may also simply reflect a complex social bond within the species. Whether or not such behavior qualifies as a spiritual or religious response remains open to debate. Certain species of birds, particularly crows and ravens, have been observed performing what can be seen as funeral rituals for their deceased companions. These animals gather around the body, making calls that some researchers have likened to mourning. However, these behaviors can also be viewed through an evolutionary lens, where animals respond to death as a survival mechanism, using the situation to assess potential threats or learn about danger. The line between religious behavior and survival instinct is difficult to draw, and it is likely that much of what seems like spirituality in animals may actually have a practical, evolutionary purpose. Humans have long projected their own emotions and beliefs onto animals, interpreting certain actions as evidence of higher cognitive functions or spiritual awareness. Some have argued that certain animal rituals, such as the behavior of wolves howling at the moon or chimpanzees engaging in elaborate play, might represent an innate sense of connection to forces beyond themselves. However, there is little evidence to suggest that these behaviors reflect any understanding of religion as humans define it. Most animal behaviors are driven by instincts such as territoriality, mating, or social bonding, not spiritual enlightenment. However, there is growing research into the emotional lives of animals, especially in terms of empathy and moral behavior. Studies have shown that animals such as elephants, dolphins, and some primates display advanced social structures and an understanding of fairness and justice. While these behaviors are not religious in the conventional sense, they may suggest that animals are capable of complex social and emotional experiences that are sometimes anthropomorphized as religious. From an evolutionary standpoint, religion in humans can be understood as a complex product of cognitive development and social structures. The emergence of religious thought likely began as early humans developed complex language, symbolic thinking, and social cohesion. These cognitive advances allowed early humans to conceptualize ideas about the afterlife, deities, and moral order. In contrast, animals, while capable of sophisticated behaviors, lack the cognitive framework for abstract thought or the construction of religious systems. However, some evolutionary biologists suggest that the roots of religious behavior could have arisen from human-like ancestors' need to understand and explain the world. The inclination toward rituals and beliefs might have evolved as adaptive traits, helping to bind social groups together and reinforce cooperation. While animals exhibit behaviors that might seem spiritual or ritualistic, these actions are more likely to be related to survival or social cohesion rather than religion in the human sense. In conclusion, early humans often feared the aspects of nature they couldn't comprehend, leading them to believe that a higher power was at work behind these forces. They thought that by showing humility, they could earn the favor of these powers, perhaps receiving rain for their crops, but angering them could bring about devastating consequences. Lacking the scientific understanding of natural phenomena that we have today, prehistoric people saw the sun as a divine force that brought warmth to the world, and rain as a miraculous gift from the heavens. Concepts like the water cycle or solar eclipses were unknown to them. Instead, they interpreted these events as signs of discord between the gods of the sky and the gods of the underworld, whose displeasure might explain such strange occurrences. But, if that was so, why humans still believe in God or gods nowadays when science has almost all answers? Well, maybe Freud and Jung could shed some light on this. Sigmund Freud, the father of psychoanalysis, had a particularly famous and often controversial theory about the origins of religion. Freud saw religion primarily as a psychological phenomenon, one that arose out of the human mind's efforts to manage unconscious desires, anxieties, and conflicts. He viewed religion as a product of the human psyche's mechanisms for coping with existential challenges, particularly feelings of helplessness, guilt, and fear. Karl Marx even saw religion as a tool for oppressors to enslave mankind because of such nature of religion. Carl Jung, once a close associate of Freud, diverged significantly from Freud's views on religion. While Freud took a largely materialistic and psychological view of religion as something that arose out of individual neuroses and childhood conflicts, Jung developed a more spiritual and collective theory that emphasized the role of religion in connecting people to the deeper aspects of the human experience. Jung's perspective on religion was grounded in his theory of the collective unconscious. The collective unconscious is a concept Jung developed to explain the shared, inherited aspects of the unconscious mind that are common to all humans. Unlike Freud, who focused on the personal unconscious and its repressed desires, Jung believed that religion was an expression of deeper, archetypal structures that were shared across all cultures and individuals. In essence, humanity created the concept of God for several reasons: the inability to comprehend immense natural phenomena, the role of religion as a powerful social glue that allowed larger groups to unite and improve their chances of survival, and the comfort it provided to those in pain. Despite scientific advancements, religion has remained a constant in our daily lives because we have yet to find answers to all of life's profound questions. We will investigate much deeper into the essence of different ideas about spirituality in our next videos, so stay tuned and write down below in the comments your thoughts on how religion came to be.